Boom. All right, all right. Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning on in here. This is my first video that I'm making on my brand new YouTube channel. Um, hey, first of all, I appreciate you guys being here. So, what I'm starting off with on my YouTube series essentially is going to be documenting my journey to a sub 3 hour marathon. The marathon that I'm choosing is going to be the Los Angeles Marathon. Most or the reason why I'm choosing it is really just location proximity. So I am based in the LA area, greater Los Angeles area. I'm actually out of the Inland Empire. So if any of you IE folks are watching the video, shout out to you guys. So yeah, without further ado, this is kind of what my documentary is going to be about. And, I apologize if, I kind of stutter, go over some steps. I'm just going live with this. So this is non-scripted. Haven't done too much, processing about what I'm going to say and in what order. I do have, a very rough idea of what's going to be communicated. But other than that, I'm just pretty much freestyling, which I honestly enjoy. All right. So shit, a couple of months ago, I did the LA Marathon for the first time. Okay. So that was my first time running the LA Marathon, and not just the LA Marathon, but any like real marathon organized event. Granted, I had ran a marathon distance on my own before that. I think it was probably about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, somewhere around there before the actual LA Marathon took place, that I decided to just on my own run a marathon distance here. So I remember when I did that, I think I did 4 hours and 10 minutes. So I took it, at a pretty easy pace, I would say. Nonetheless, I was really happy with myself because I was able to do it. I kind of kept that, in private. I mean, didn't really put it out on Instagram or any of the social medias. It's just something that I wanted to keep. I did tell, a couple of friends and some family about it, but yeah, it's something that I kind of just wanted to keep for myself at that time. Now, kind of fast forward to the LA Marathon, which happened, I believe that was March 17th, yeah, St. Patrick's Day of 2023. So I did some, considerable prep for that. I believe, let me see here. So I had started the 75 Hard or the 75 Life program, which is essentially it's a 75 Hard with some additional like phases. So the 75 Hard, for the ones that aren't familiar with it, is a program developed by Andy Frisella. I love it. I love it. I really do. The standard 75 hard is essentially it's two workouts a day, 45 minutes per workout, must be 3 hours apart. One of the workouts has to be outdoors. Okay. Secondly, you need to maintain a diet while you are on the program every single day. No cheat meals, no alcohol. Third, you have to consume 1 gallon of water. Andy calls for just a gallon of straight water, which Andy, if you're watching this video, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's just too much pain. I think that it would be good if you at least allowed people to include just straight salt sodium into their water. One, it doesn't make it taste that much better to where, it makes it easier for them to consume or for us to consume. And I think that just on a I guess like dietary basis, I think like the body absorbs it better, so we're just not just pissing all that shit out. But nonetheless, you probably have your reasons for it, but I figured I'd fucking just throw that out there. Anyway, so 1 gallon of water and 10 pages of reading out of a self-help, self-development book, kind of business book, something like that help, promote your growth, whether it be your professional, spiritual, mental, physical, all that. And then what am I missing here? Oh, take a progress picture every day. So I think those are the 5 things. Yep, no alcohol, no cheat meals, picture, water, 2 workouts, and I think that's it. Anyway, so I was doing that. That I was on the tail end of it. I believe March 18th was my last day. Yeah, that's what it was. March 18th was my last day of that 75 days, consecutive days, which kind of made it a little tough to be able to taper down. Essentially, it was just hard for me to taper down. I don't know why I couldn't. Like I felt like I needed to keep on running. Maybe because I had just been doing it for so long. I think I was also being lazy about coming up with some sort of different workouts where I would still be able to hit my 45 minutes outdoors and 45 minutes indoors or whatever it is that I was doing at the time, my two workouts. And I think I was just being a little bit lazy about developing a certain program, and I was okay with just continuing to push myself. However, I did on that last week, or towards it, I think probably the 5 last days of that last week before the marathon, I did switch over to just weighted walking. So I have a 75-pound weight vest. And I think the last few days I just did straight no weight vest, just walk, fast, probably walk some hills right here by my house. So that was kind of the way that I tapered down. So I wasn't too sure about how well I would perform during the marathon. Just checking my time here on the camera. Close up. All right. So I wasn't too sure about how well I would perform. I was doing it on my own. This was my first time. I was a little bit nervous about the amount of elevation or amount of climb that we would have during the marathon, just because I wasn't familiar with the course. And I believe the weekend before, oh no, a couple of weeks before, maybe 2 weeks before, I went to Dodger Stadium where like the race initiates, where it starts. I went for a Spartan race, just a little 5K, just a little warm up. And I saw that, we were in the hills. I had forgotten because it had been for, a while since I had been there, and we were in the hills. So, that got me a little bit nervous just about, how much climbing we would be doing. And nonetheless, fucking, hey, I had signed up for it. I had trained for it. I knew that I was gonna go ahead and, go through with it. And yeah, so my brother ended up dropping me off at Dodger Stadium probably around 6 a.m. in the morning. I forgot my belt. I remember my running belt that has a pocket for my phone and also would allow me to strap on my little water bottle that I have. That was kind of inconvenient. I also had some gels, running gels on there, to refuel during the run. And yeah, I forgot those at home. So I didn't have that with me. Luckily, they had some stations set up there. I was able to purchase some gels. I was able to fill up my little water bottle because I did have that. So I just clipped it in onto my shorts. Nonetheless, it was cold out there, and I did a little bit of a warm up, to get my blood going, and then lined up and just proceeded to wait like everybody else. Took off nice strong start. I was really excited. To be honest, it was a really great experience. Like being able just to toe the line and take off. I felt an incredible sense of gratefulness just to be able to do something like this. It's nice to be able to live in a country, live in a time where we can devote a lot of time, a lot of energy to things like this, just extracurricular, almost just like recreational fun activities, right? We're not like, I don't know, life is good. If I can devote so much time to just running, to exercising, like life is fucking good. And I felt that incredible sense of just gratitude while I was taking off on the run. I was thinking about, where my family had come from, how far we'd come, that I was able to just participate in an event like this. And not only the amount of exercise, like we're talking about, I think I shelled up $200 just for the registration. I spent another probably $130 a day before buying belts and a fucking $70 Asics t-shirt. Like all these things just add up to like me being grateful, like shit, like I'm doing this. I know where I came from. I, know where my parents lived out in Mexico. I know what we went through, and I know what I've gone through, and it was great. Had a really really good race, to be honest. I ended up, yeah, just really trying to perform strongly. Did not take it easy on myself at all. Like as soon as we took off, I was able to make headway, start getting around people. Like I did exactly that, and basically didn't let off the gas until the very very end here, and I'll get into that in a bit. Um, it was interesting, running the marathon by myself. There was a first portion, maybe the first 5 miles or so. There was a young lady who was running at a pace that I felt was very comparable to mine, maybe even a little bit ahead. So I decided to just stick with her. At probably mile 5, I don't know, somebody called her, she turned around and she stopped, went to say, hey, hi. So I was not about to go say hi with her, so I just kept going. And a couple of miles down the road, I ran up on this one dude who was a similar build to me. He was probably an inch or two taller than me. Not had like nice wide shoulders. Looked like he was probably around like 220 pounds. And I was like, okay, this dude is about my size, at least comparable, and we're both running a strong pace. Let me just stick with this dude and make sure, use him kind of as a pacer. It turned out a mile or two down, he ended up telling me, hey, dude, if I'm getting annoying, like following you, just let me know and I'll bounce. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm using you as a pacer too. Like, it's all good. We have the same idea. Like, let's fucking go. So we ended up doing pretty much the whole fucking race together, which was really dope. That motivated me to just really push, push, push. I'm pretty sure I ended up being his pacer for probably around like 15 miles or so. And I think that was really the big catalyst, really my pride, where I was just like, hell yeah, like I'm fucking taking us all the way there, or I'm taking us as hard and as fast as like I can go, and get us there, accomplish this fucking mission. And I had this kind of sense of pride. And I'm gonna be fucking honest. Like if I'm gonna start this YouTube shit, like I'm just gonna put it all out there. So for me, it was a very like prideful experience, because for me this dude was kind of, in a sense, I don't know if the epitome is like the right word to use, but it's definitely a physique that I would admire, and I would say like that is almost like the ideal physique. And just to put it into perspective, probably share a picture if he's cool with it. But he has like, I don't know what you would see, like if you guys remember like the Rocky movie when he fights like the Russian dude, basically big, tall white boy, 6'2", 6'4", just a strong ass build, long legs, strong muscles, cut. Like that is what he reminded me of. He wasn't probably like, the cuttest, but he just had a physique where it's like this dude could be like, a Navy SEAL or something like that. So for me, it was just like, I'm fucking the one that is pushing us. I'm the one that is, holding up this pace so that we can ensure that we get a good time. And I'm gonna fucking do what I gotta do to show up here and, make sure that I do help to contribute to the mission here. Nonetheless, look, long story short, probably mile fucking 25, my left knee, it starts to hurt. And I start jumping around, like really just trying not to stop. So I'm skipping, taking weight off, taking weight off. I'll take weight off for a couple 100 feet and it'll chill back down and go back to running. And then a couple 100 feet later, again, it comes back. I'm skipping. I'm doing, I'm doing the most, just trying to not to stop, right? Finally, probably about half a mile before, maybe a little bit less, before the finish line, my fucking left hamstring really cramps up and just fucking stops in the middle of the road. Do a quick bend over, maybe 10, 15 seconds, massage the bitch out. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Cuss. And just, fucking book it to the finish line. I was able to finish. So the time that I ended up getting for my first marathon, the LA Marathon on March 17th of 2024, was 3 hours and 38 minutes. Yeah. So here we go. Yep. 3 hours, 38 minutes, and 18 seconds. That's my official time here. And to be honest, I was really proud of that. I still am very proud of that. You know, for it to be my first marathon, you know, I didn't have any training from any professional runners. It was just something that I, you know, did on my own, watch some YouTube videos. Shout out to Nick Bear. I really appreciate his content on running and lifting, because I actually consider myself, I don't even consider myself, I am a hybrid athlete. I love to run, and I also love to lift and, like, you know, lift weights and do hit exercises, a lot of burpees, stuff like that. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. So anyway, 3:38 was my time for the marathon here 2024. And with this YouTube channel and this little docu-series is about, it's about me going back to the LA Marathon in 2025 and really shaving some time down. So I'm trying to shave off more time than a lot of people would probably be comfortable shaving off in a year, okay? So just to give you an idea, like, this is my goal here. So I need to get under 2 hours and 59 minutes and 59 seconds, basically sub 3 hours. This, anything below, is fucking great, all right? But what that means is that I would have to shave off 38 minutes and 17 seconds off the time that I had this year. Shoot, today is May 6th, right? So we're month 5, 7, probably about 9 months to get ready for this race next year. And I'm gonna I'm gonna fucking shave off 38 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. You know what that means on I guess, like a mile perspective. What is this? I think I gotta shave off 87 seconds off every mile. Right. All right. So the time that I did this year, the 3 hours and 38 minutes, equates to on an average 8 minutes 19-second miles. In order to hit my goal, I'm gonna have to chop this motherfucker down to 6 hours, or 6 hours, I wish, 6 minutes and 50 seconds per mile. Look, I'm a fucking big dude, all right? I'm a big dude. I'm not the fucking biggest. I'm not 250 pounds, solid muscle, but I am over 200 pounds. You know, right now where I'm currently sitting at, I'm about 210 pounds right now. You know, I fluctuate anywhere from 205 to 225 depending on how my diet is. But I can fucking get up there if I just eat. It is not the same thing for me to run a sub 3 hour marathon than it is for a 150-pound male to run a sub 3 hour marathon. You know, it requires much more energy from me to do that because I'm carrying more weight. And even though we have to do it for the same amount of time, you know, I have to carry more weight, I have to exert more energy, burn more calories. Aside from that, you know, not taking away anything from anybody else because we're in the same race, I just have gotten serious about running recently. So for the folks that are doing sub 3 hour marathons, you know, I'm very curious because I haven't done a ton of fucking research about how long it takes to get a sub 3 hour marathon. I did watch one rather long YouTube series about this guy's journey to getting a sub 3 hours. He was always fucking gassing out, getting injured. It took him, I think, maybe about 6 tries. I just, yeah, shit. I might have to come back to this video and just apologize, but like that's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be me. I need to. I guess I just hold myself to not even just a higher standard. Actually, I just believe that we can do more. So I'll push myself more, and to get there. You know, one of the ways that here, let me see what else do I have here. Okay. Look. So one of the things that I'm doing is like I created basically a workout plan for my marathon training. Obviously, this is for the fucking month of May, right? And I'll give you a quick breakdown of how I'm planning to train at least for this month. So we have here, we're right here, Monday the 6th, right? So we have this whole week. And then we have the next week on the May 18th, I actually have a Spartan race, the Spartan Beast up here in Big Bear, which is just going to be fucking brutal. That is 21 kilometers, so half a marathon there. 5,000 feet of elevation climb. Yeah, that one's going to be brutal. So next week, I am going to be taking it easier. I'm going to do just like some weighted walks, just some fast-paced walking towards the end there so that my legs can recover, because I'm basically running every single day right now, and I don't want to do that leading up to that race. I want my legs to be fresh. I want to go out, and I really want to leave it all out there, perform as best as I can, and have some fucking fun. Anyway, so here we're basically, aside from this week, if I didn't have a race going on, what I'm trying to say is I would run this same program that I'm about to explain. I would run it every single week. All right. So the program is starting on Sunday, right? I have a long run, so that means anywhere from 15 to 20 miles. Right? Monday, I have a short run, or like active rest is kind of what I would call it, and that's a 3 to 5 mile run. Probably a lot closer to just like 3.6 miles. There's a loop here that, I already do. Like most of you guys that run, there's already trails that you kind of set forth, even if you're running on the street for yourself. This is, if you're doing 5 miles, if you're doing 7, if you're doing 10, this is the direction that you go. You've timed them out, or you've measured the distance, you've done it before, and then now you just kind of replicate it, right? All right, so on Tuesday here, I'm gonna be doing what I'm calling fast running. I don't have a better term for it right now. But it's essentially what I'm going to be doing is like high interval training, speed work. So probably a lot of track running, sprints, hill sprints, just a lot of different forms of like HIIT activity. And that is going to really help develop my speed. All right. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a regular run. So a regular run for me is I'm putting it in at 10 to 13 miles. To be quite frank, that's not really a quote unquote regular run for me, because I don't do it regularly. But it is something that I feel that if I have a schedule and I make the proper adjustments on my scheduling, that means that my work, my daughter, all of our responsibilities, everything is planned out, mapped out as best as I could. I feel like I can keep up with that schedule. So on the regular run here that I have planned for Wednesday, that's a regular run, quote unquote, fast. So what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be trying to complete 10 to 13 miles at a high pace, at a fast pace, I'm sorry. So then on Thursday, again, we have a regular run distance, which is 10 to 13 miles, but now I'm going to switch it up to a low pace. So a slow pace for me is going to be around like 9:30. All right. And then on Friday, I have, again, the fast running kind of HIIT exercise, agility workout, working on my speed. And then on Saturday, again, with a regular run, low intensity, slow pace, 10 to 13 miles there. If we add it up, I believe we're coming in right under 60 miles per week. And like, that's really the level where I want to be at. And I feel comfortable like being able to achieve that. The biggest issue that I have is sometimes the time constraints. You know, when you're running 10 miles, that eats up a good chunk of your day. I have other responsibilities. Obviously, I have work. Well, not obviously for you guys that don't know me, but I have work, you know, that takes about 8, 9 hours of my day. And then I have my daughter, which I, you know, share custody with her mother, but I'm also very involved, particularly with her travel softball team. So I help coach there, and you know that's a big commitment. We're doing practice, running practice on Mondays, running practice on Thursdays and Fridays. That's a 3-hour practice. I head up the agility program there, so I am responsible for ensuring that we have an agility session for Mondays and Fridays. And then aside from that, you know, I'm helping out with the rest of the program. Then we have the weekends, sometimes Mondays and or Saturdays and Sundays, we're running tournaments or we're playing, you know, full days, friendlies. Long story short, that is consumes a lot of my time. And I just need to be very meticulous about how I plan. And then I need to also just be very disciplined about how I spend my time and how I execute on my planning. You know, nonetheless, it's challenging, but we continue to get better and better. And everything is kind of a learning opportunity. So we're just going to continue to learn, to develop. And listen, here's my last thing, I think. I am going to cut about 40 minutes off of this year's time to come in under 3 hours. And I have my plan for this month, which I'm going to execute. And then for June, right before the month of May ends, I'll go ahead and start working on what I think my plan should be, any adjustments that I need to make, anything that I've learned along the last few weeks, I'll build into that. I am not going to pay for a coach. I think that a coach would be extremely beneficial. However, I really don't want to pay for a coach. Having said that, though, if there's somebody in the area that wants to help support my cause, which is getting a 200-pound dude to complete a sub 3 hour marathon, if there's somebody that wants to help out with the cause, then let me know. I'm all ears. We can chat it up, see if, you know, we can kind of work together to develop a training program. And then if there's anybody else in the area, so I live, you know, in the like Highlands, San Bernardino, Redlands area. If there's anybody out here in this area or relatively close that just wants to get together, wants to do some trail running, wants to do some street running, wants to do some track activity, if you're up for it, let me know and we'll kind of take it from there. But I definitely am open to, you know, exploring different workouts, exploring different routes, and exploring different people, you know, that have this shared similar interest. You know, my plan is just to fucking go hard. So if you're watching this video and you think that what I'm trying to attain is like really, really out of reach, and I should, I guess, for example, you maybe perhaps have the mentality of like, no, you should only really be looking to cut about 15 minutes off of your time. That's realistic, 15 minutes every year. And you can just start to chop it down that way. Eventually, take your time. You'll get under 3 hours so you won't get hurt. That's the number one priority. Like, that's not me. Like, that's not me. I am trying to fucking just push, push, push as much as I can, push myself mentally, push myself physically, really utilize this as a tool to be able to grow. So I'm gonna put myself in an uncomfortable situation so that I know how to deal with uncomfortable situations better. There's been a lot I spent a lot of time in my life not understanding how to deal with uncomfortable situations, not understanding that I was running away from them, a lot of things like that. So now it's like that's not an option for me anymore. I can't simply try to avoid the real hard work. So now I put myself in uncomfortable situations. If I want something, if I really want something, then I put myself in a position where I have to get it. And this is something that I want, that I really, really, really want. I don't know, I could probably do without, but to be honest, there aren't a lot of other things on my radar right now. So I'm gonna fucking go for it because I need to be working towards something. I'm not just gonna sit here and not work towards anything. So this is something that is comes along my path, along my journey. I'm gonna go ahead and execute on it. If anybody else wants to join in, feel free to join in, whether that means you're just going to watch my YouTube videos and follow me on social media, follow the trajectory here, the journey, then like awesome. Fucking great. Thank you. Do that. If you want to tag up, if you actually want to hit the streets, you want to run, you want to help develop something, you see something in me, you see yourself in me, whatever it may be, like let me know. I'm all ears. And yeah, let's just fucking fight on. Before that, though, let me just be real fucking candid. So I said, hey, my goal is to get a 3 hour or sub 3 hour marathon. Yes, that is a goal, but I really don't want to come in just right under at 2:59:59. What I would really be happy with, truly, I guess, satisfied, at least as of right now, right here, this would be the goal. So an average mile at 6:30, equating to 2 hours and 50 minutes. Boom. That right here is my goal for the LA Marathon 2025. Well, it's a wrap, man. That's all I got for my first YouTube video series here. I appreciate you guys. I will, yeah, just continue to develop this channel, continue to understand, what are the necessities here? What do I feel called to provide to you guys in content? Like, aside from just talking about running, like, I'm going to be talking about myself. I'm going to be talking about the experiences that I've had, the growth I've had in the last few years, and just the trajectory that, my life has kind of gone through. I'm really looking to just open myself up and essentially like put myself out there, find, a tribe of people that fuck with me, a tribe of people that I fuck with, and that things really resonate well with. And, we can all essentially get along. And when we don't get along, we'll fucking figure out the fucking issue and then we'll be back to getting along, baby. Let's fucking go.